Hi, my name is Dr. Gary J. Kersey, and this is Charlene Sabas, and I'm going to demonstrate the use of a piezo, which I developed, and we had an interesting thing happen. She had a good response, and we thought it was something important we want people to see. And what I'm going to do is just simply ask her, tell her a little bit about herself, and then ask her what happened when she got her treatment. Okay, I gave a seminar and you were there and you asked me if I could maybe take a look at your knees.
Yes, I was in a lot of pain with my knees. I have two artificial knees, and you would kind of figure they wouldn't hurt, but they did hurt constantly. And so he was closing up, and I said, could you please do something on my knees? And so he said, oh, all right. And he came over and he worked on my knees, and he also worked on a couple of places on my neck or back or something. And I have to tell you, I was there with a walker, and I couldn't walk, and I was bent over like this all the time. I couldn't sit up, and I couldn't stand up. And he did this little thing on me, and it probably took 2 minutes maybe. And then he said, stand up. And I stood up, and I stood all the way up, 5'7", and instead of 4'7", and I started walking around the room, and I could kick my legs, and I went back to my chair and picked it up, and it was pretty heavy, but I walked around carrying the chair, and it's amazing. And I keep feeling better. And this was done probably 3 months ago.
Has it been about 3 months?
And after about 6 weeks, I called him up because he said, when the pain comes back, call me. And I just wanted to keep in touch with him and tell him the pain did not come back. But I feel good, thank you. And I'm still feeling very, very, very good. And I'm very grateful to what you have done, and I can't wait to learn.
You're welcome. I think the amazing part of the story is that a lot of things can help people. I think the big headline for the story is that this can be used by lots of people. It can be taught on videos, and people can do the same thing I did. There was no, I mean, there are a lot of people in the country that people say, well, they're gifted, they have special talents, special gifts, and that's nice for them, but what do you do if you can't get to see those people? And I'm always looking for things like the piezo that people can use to do the same things that some of these other healers do right at home, and something that works for everybody. So this is not an unusual response. It is fairly common. You had the surgery how long ago?
Oh geez, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 years, and maybe 5 years.
5 years. And did you have pain all that ever since then? Okay, so it didn't really work, because some people have no pain after the surgery, but you had pain.
Well, what the doctors told me, the reason I had pain was because I have fibromyalgia.
Oh, okay.
So they said that's what the pain was from. So it's working. I mean, in the evening, I can start to feel that it's about time for me to kind of lay down.
Yeah.
And pick up my feet. But I can go pretty much all day.
Now how often do you use your walker now?
Never.
You don't use your walker?
No. And after I left the walker, I started with a cane.
Sure.
And then I found that the cane was an annoyance. But I have to tell you about the walker. Sometimes when I am going into a store to look around,
right,
I will bring it with me.
Long term.
If I want to sit and look at something, but I don't use it.
If you only had one treatment in the last 3 months, we didn't really repeat it, so it might be helpful to do it again.
Yes.
And of course, these are very inexpensive, so people can. The idea of these is for people can have them at home, and then you can use it whenever you want. So if you need to get a treatment once a month, every week, it's right there. You can use it. and it's completely harmless. You can use it on children, use it on animals, pets. You can't hurt anybody with
You
it.
can use it on yourself.
And I'll use it on yourself, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And basically what we did for her, we simply, I used 4 points, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay? And when she asked, I was getting ready to leave, she said, could you treat my knees? And I said, sure, I'll show you how to do it. And these points are called the eyes of the knee. It's the indentation or depression right underneath the kneecap. And most people could find their kneecaps. You know, everybody knows where that is. And you just simply come in, you give about 10 clicks. Like this. This will be your second treatment. Okay. Like this. And then I stood up, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And off I went. Yeah. So
Yeah.
It was not very melodramatic, but
No.
I called a few days later and I said, "How's Charlene doing?" She said, "Well, I think the lady I talked to, she said, I think she's doing better, but you know, she didn't have her walker with her." And I said, "Is that a big deal?" She said, "It's a very big deal. She always had her walker." So it's like I knew something was going on. So it's pretty interesting.
Yes.
And the whole thing is easy to teach, to learn on video. These are inexpensive, not a big deal. People, I mean, thousands of people could be doing this at home, and instead they're either living with the pain or they're taking medications, which they're having side effects from the medications, but they feel like they have to put up with the side effects so they don't have to have the pain. And the fact of the matter is you don't need to always take medications for pain. This is worth looking into and trying.
I have to tell you also that I was on oxycodone.
Oh, okay.
And I took it about 2, sometimes 3 times a day. I don't remember the dosage. 375 maybe?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I realized, geez, I don't think I need that.
Yeah.
And so I just stopped taking it. And I couldn't live without it before.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, very, very good. And it'll work on all kinds, not just knees, it'll work on all kinds of issues and problems. So yeah, this is exciting. There's no telling how far you're going to go with this. Perfect. Very good. And when you leave, I'll give you this so you can take it home with you.
Oh, I'm
Sound
so
good?
happy.
Well, thank you very much, Charlene.
Thank you.
You're
very
quite
much.
welcome.